Welcome to episode 785, Pablo Legorreta, Royalty Pharma. This is an outline of episode 785. According to Legorreta, we are now living in a golden age of biotech.
For all of us here is that the way I see it, and many people that have been following this field for decades see it, is that it's really the golden age of biotech. So from a societal perspective and investor perspective, scientists, companies, I think there's a very important reflection that we need to make about allocation of resources. And I think the excitement that we're seeing here is correct. The advances in overall survival, responses survival for patients has been dramatic.
He was born in Mexico in 1964. In 1985, he graduated from Universidad Iberoamericana in Mexico City with a degree in industrial engineering. For the next 9 years, he worked for the French investment bank Lazard Frères, doing merger and acquisition between Paris and New York, and rising to vice president. In 1996, at the age of 32, he founded Royalty Pharma.
Years there, and to start Royalty Pharma. So we founded Royalty Pharma in 1996, raised $60 million, all equity, and started investing in royalties. And the first thing that I did was that I did a tender offer to buy more of these Neupogen royalties from these 840 investors. We had bought a small fraction, 33 of them. So in September of 96, we closed the $60 million financing, to start the business. And then by November, we had done this tender offer, and we bought about $20 million worth of Neupogen royalties.
Now, the unique business model of Royalty Pharma.
We have created a global leader in life sciences financing, focused on providing innovation capital to inventors, research institutions, and companies. Our business plan has allowed us to create a rapidly growing company in the life sciences industry. Now, what do? We do not discover, develop, manufacture, or market biopharmaceutical products. Instead, we invest in royalty interests in marketed and late-stage biopharmaceutical products, and we finance late-stage clinical development for royalties. I'm going to explain now a specific example of a transaction with the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center and us. So let's look now at the rationale of why this transaction made sense for them and for us, financial assets. So by monetizing a portion of this asset, they diversified. They also were able to finance a portion of a building, or used a portion of the proceeds to finance a building, which has become a very important research center in New York City. And in addition, by receiving a royalty interest in Royalty Pharma, they converted what was a wasting asset with a finite life into an interest in an ongoing business that will produce dividends and value for Memorial Sloan Kettering for a much longer period of time.
And when you think about it, what an institution like MSK needs is predictable long-term cash flow, and that's what they're getting now from this transaction with us. So I went just very systematically to all of these academic institutions which I knew had royalties, and we did a deal with Emory, very similar to MSK. Emory became a shareholder of Royalty Pharma. The inventors of Emory became shareholders of Royalty Pharma. They owned 40% of a $525 million royalty. We did a deal with NYU for Remicade, which is that J&J drug that is really big, and many others.
In June 2020, he took Royalty Pharma public, borrowed $2.2 billion. After a strong debut, Pablo Legorreta is now worth $2.2 billion, according to Forbes magazine.
Living in the golden age of biotechnology and the golden age of medical research, academic research, hospital research. And we work on a very collaborative basis with all of the innovators in the life sciences R&D ecosystem to accelerate discovery and bring medicines to patients. And you were right in saying that these are some of the most profitable drugs, large drugs in the industry. But I think the most important thing is that these drugs really, what they do is they bring incredible treatments and cures for patients. And that's why they're big and important. And the way we acquire these royalties is we go to the innovators, to the universities which discovered these things, these drugs and products, and we actually work with them and acquire the royalty, giving them an upfront payment so that the universities and hospitals can plow that money back into more research and discovery, and really accomplish their mission.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave your questions and comments below. My next video will be Pablo Legorreta, 9 lessons. Wishing everyone peace and prosperity.